This episode of Sports Addict Live, Sunday. It's Sunday. The NFL, it's back. We made it a little teaser on Thursday, but the real deal, it all starts today. And it's all brought to you by First Round Collectibles. With over 40 years experience, First Round Collectibles offers the widest variety of quality Beckett-graded sports cards anywhere. Representing 10 major sports, First Round has all your favorite players from all your favorite teams at great prices. We are proud of our knowledgeable staff and top-rated customer service, and our reviews vouch for our integrity. Visit us today at firstroundcollectibles.com and find your heroes. That is the number one, STRoundcollectibles.com. First Round Collectibles, sports cards for sports fans.
Yeah. Let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard.
Hey, welcome. Sports Addict Live. We're back. Adrenaline pumping through my veins. That lyric has not fit since February any more than it does today. We're back, baby. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can tell. My wife told me not to wear it, and you know what? I broke the cardinal rule, the golden rule, if you will, and I did not listen to my wife, and I am repping the A.J. Brown Philadelphia Eagles. I cannot wait. And it all starts today. We got a teaser on Thursday. Great game. And, you know, I was thinking about it. On my last show, I was talking about how, you know, the 49ers are arguably the most talented team in the league. Definitely one of the most talented teams in the league. No doubt about it. Everybody agrees. No argument from anybody who knows what they're talking about. And I pretend to. And so, but I argued that, you know, everyone says that it's a quarterback league. And we saw 8 games from Brock Purdy, and you know, the arguments were all over the place. Is he good, or is it just the scheme? Is it the players? Is it this? Is it that? And it's fascinating to me how we just have no questions about Brock now. I mean, so, you know, a lot of people do, but a lot of people are picking this team to go to the Super Bowl. And I just wonder, you know, have we seen enough from Brock, or is his team good enough around him? It doesn't matter. It's really interesting to me. And I was thinking about that watching the game on Thursday with Pat Mahomes. Listen, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in our league. Once again, no argument from anybody there. He's the best quarterback in the league, the reigning MVP, reigning Super Bowl champion, will go down as one of the greats. And who knows, man, the kid's young, could be the greatest. He'll have to play like till he's 70 like Tom Brady did. But so last year, you know, Tyreek Hill's gone, and major questions. They come out and they win the Super Bowl. They have the best offense in the league. Doesn't matter that one of the best wide receivers is now gone. They just come out and they win, and it's all good. And so this year, that was a concern, but because of last year, it was just kind of swept under the rug, and doesn't really matter. And without Travis Kelce in the lineup, it was clear that this could be a problem. And we love to overreact here, we do, but not just here, but just overall, you know, Friday morning, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, we love to overreact. It's just one game, blah, 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 understood, heard and understood. but they got no one to throw the ball to. And poor Kadarius Toney, man, just getting lit up on Friday, and rightfully so. If he could catch a ball, they not only win, but they cover. Thankfully, by the time it got to 3.5, I was like, either way, I'm not touching this. I just don't like it. And so, yeah, I just wonder, with Travis Kelce, will this be a problem for longer than just this week? He's got 10 days to rest now, so that's perfect. But will this, if he's the only guy you can trust, who on this roster is going to prove themselves as the season goes on? Sky Moore. Is Tony going to stop drinking before the games? We'll see what happens. But a very good game. Congratulations to the Detroit Lions. Friday, I did for First Round Collectibles card of the day, I did a Barry Sanders 1989 rookie card. So check that out. I believe it was $114.99 or best offer. So go check that out. All right, a couple things. First, before we really dive in to today's action, I got a couple beefs here. First of all, shout out to the Canadian basketball team, FIBA World Championships. Both Canada and the U.S. going down in the semis will be playing for the bronze. By the time this airs, the game will have been over, and I'm playing my hand. It's Saturday night. I'm recording it. I got a lot to do. I'm a busy man. And my live isn't working for some reason, so I'm just going with it right now. So by the time this airs, there will be a bronze champion. But shout out. Disappointing loss to Serbia. But Canadian basketball is back in the Olympics for the first time since, I believe, Sydney Olympics in 2000. So shout out to our Canadian squad. But not a shout out to a different Canadian squad, and that's the CFL. Now, the CFL this summer has actually been, I'm not the biggest CFL guy, but I've been watching quite a bit this summer. I've been stepping it up, and I've actually really enjoyed the product, especially with the Toronto Argonauts on a roll, winning today against Montreal 39-10, improved to 10-1 on the season from a underdog win in the Grey Cup last year, and just kept on rolling. And it's been a really fun season to watch for the Argonauts. But I've had this beef with the CFL all year, and it drives me insane. I sprinkle some change on these games, and I can't always watch the games. And when you're watching the games, you notice a player gets a certain amount of yards or a certain amount, just depending on the sport you're watching, a certain amount of hits or shots or whatever. And you want to check your bets as the game's going on. And CFL has no live stats to be found anywhere on the internet, and the internet's a big place, and they're nowhere, and it's embarrassing, quite frankly. CFL on TSN is a great product, and I know I'm speaking strictly to Canadian fans up here, but listen, there's no CFL stats to be found anywhere, and it drives me insane. So tonight, I'm on the old X app, and I'm scrolling through, and the CFL account tweets a video from the Elks. I want to say Edmonton and Calgary are playing tonight. I'm gonna get that might be wrong, but whatever. We're here now. The Elks kick the ball off, and whoever the frig they're playing catches the ball in the end zone, and rather than taking a knee, and the end zones in the CFL are massive, rather than taking a knee, he tries to run it out, and he gets just completely ambushed and ends up getting tackled at his 1 yard line to start the game. Tackles at their 1 yard line. And the CFL tweets chirping this team All they're saying is interesting, ... and show the video. You know what's interesting? It's interesting that you chirp your own product. You literally, like, you're not highlighting big plays. No, you're highlighting a stupid mistake, and you can't have live stats on anywhere in the world. It drives me crazy. Absolutely crazy. And just another reason why, generally speaking, American content is better than Canadian content, because you can't even put stats live on the internet. It drives me insane. All right, back to the NFL. A couple things that I'm looking at here, and then we'll get to some of my favorite bets. As I said, we're going to do, as I said, I believe on the Card of the Day show, just picks against the spread today. No prop bets. We'll do that as the season rolls along. I'm just going straight, and I got a little self-competition going here, and I do want to bring more people on. We'll have guests on. We'll have rotating people come on, but for now, it's just me. One last thing I did want to say as well is the show is called Sports Addict Live, and why hasn't it been live? It just hasn't been working. So I'm hoping to be live Sunday night, 11 p.m. on Sunday night. I'm praying that it works. And if it is, I hope you join me. So anyway, diving in to the NFL slate. 1 o'clock, 49ers and Steelers. This game's super interesting. 49ers minus 2.5. First of all, just to what I was saying at the beginning, does this team pick up where they left off in the divisional round with Brock Purdy? Do they roll? They don't miss a beat. There's been some rumors that McCaffrey's not super healthy. Rumors Kittle's not super healthy. Do they just keep rolling? Bosa missed the entirety of training camp. So how does that work? Does he come out guns a-blazing? Is that defense super smooth? We'll see what happens. I'm sure that they'll look good. That Shanahan team usually does. But the Steelers, do they pick up where they left off? They finished the season 7-2 to get into the playoffs. There's been a lot of hype around this Steelers team. A lot of people like this Steelers team. Pickett's growth, I think, 2.5 is a pretty small line, and I feel even though the Steelers are at home, it's a pretty respectful line for the Steelers. I would have figured it to be a little bit bigger, and the fact that it is only 2.5, I think, shows some respect to the Steelers and how far they've come. They've got a lot of hype this summer, and I'm really excited to see where this team goes as the season goes on, but specifically at 1 p.m. The next game that I'm super interested in here is the Packers and the Bears. The Bears are home, and they're minus 1.5. And I know that they're home, but I do wonder, is this simply because Jordan Love is the quarterback and we have no idea if this guy's going to be good? Is that what the deal is? Because I don't quite understand. The Packers defense is better than the Bears defense. Generally speaking, the talent around Jordan Love is better. The Bears did add weapons. You got DJ Moore there now. But and maybe it is just being home. Generally speaking, the odds makers give you 3 points just for being home, generally speaking. So maybe, minus 1.5, it's like, okay, so you're home, we'll give you the minus 1.5. But what's interesting about this game is you got quarterback questions on both sides, right? Excuse me. You got quarterback questions both sides. Justin Fields, as I said in my last show, I think if this team goes 7-9, 8-9, 7-10, 9-8, and Fields is good, then I'm fine with that. Honestly, I don't think the expectation of this team should be playoffs. I think they need to know, is Fields good? He can run his face off. That's great. But is he good? And that's what we're really looking for here. This Packers defense really underperformed last year. They are an incredibly talented bunch, a bunch of first-round picks. This defense should be much, much, much better this year. So when does that start? It might as well start today. And you got Jordan Love, where nobody knows if this guy's going to be good. But the one thing that's not getting talked about enough that I've heard some places is they've literally had Favre and Rodgers the last, 30 years. Favre, Rodgers, that's it. Jordan Love has hung out with Rodgers for 4 years. He knows the scheme. He knows the plays. Now he's just got to show that he knows how to play. And so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give my division parlay later in the show, and I picked them to win the division. I think that I just think that he has the pieces around him, and the defense is way better than they played last year. And I'm really curious to see for both these quarterbacks, Love and Fields, who shows out tomorrow that they're ready for this year to be their breakout year. The next one is the Raiders and the Broncos. The Broncos minus 3.5 at home. And, at first, when I was looking at the schedule a couple weeks ago, I was thinking about, the Broncos. I just want to see Peyton and Wilson. Can Peyton figure Wilson out? They paid Stidham a bunch of money to be their backup. Is Russell going to play the whole season? That's clearly the number one thing here is Russell Wilson still a top 10 quarterback in this league? But then this Raiders drama has gotten spicy. Like Chandler Jones, the team is calling like the mental health line or whatever it is on him, and he's not, he can be harmful to himself, and all this drama with Chandler Jones. Check the story out if you haven't heard it. It's absolutely wild. And then you have Devontae Adams, tweeting about the team, and Josh Jacobs, that whole holdout, and there's just so much drama surrounding this team. I didn't think they were going to be very good anyway. They do have good players. Jimmy Garoppolo and Devontae Adams could be fun, I suppose. But this drama is just fascinating to me. So do the Raiders keep it close? Do they surprise us and cover and win? Or do they just get their doors blown off? I don't believe Chandler Jones. No, he's not playing tomorrow. Today. I got to keep it real. Today. I got to keep this front, this fake facade that I have, that it's Sunday. It's just super fascinating to me. I have no idea. And Wilson, of course it's a long season. Of course it's just one game. But you can't have this talk about you going right after game one. You got to play well. You got to play well and let people say it's just one game, but he played well. He got 278 yards, 2 touchdowns, 25 yards rushing, a rushing touchdown, no interceptions. You got to let people say it's just one game, but he played well. Because if you played poorly, it's not just one game. It's now a season and a game. You got to play well. Next, Eagles, Pats. And I'm not just saying this because I got the jersey on. I'm fascinated by a couple things in this game. First of all, the Eagles, Super Bowl runner-up, defending NFC champions. They got 2 new coordinators going into this season. Not much on the offensive side has changed. Miles Sanders is out. You got Swift in. You got Penny in. Gainwell and Scott stayed. That offensive line is the same, and it is the best in football. You got a lot the same. You still got Brown, you still got Smith, you still got Goddard, and clearly you still got Hurts, and you will for at least 6 more years. So, offensively, this team's talent has barely changed. I will say, Steichen was a phenomenal in-game play caller. Teams have their set plays and they have their schemes, and no matter what happens, for this many drives, we're going to do these plays, and this is what we're going to do. But he was phenomenal at seeing the flow of the game, seeing the flow of the opposing defense, and changing game plans as the game went along. Man, excuse me. Changing game plans as the game went along. So that's going to be something curious if Johnson will be able to kind of do the same. And I know it's a long season and he'll get better. And how much of it does Hurts just take on himself? I'm going to be fascinated to see how that goes. And on the defensive side, we talked about this last show, is they were a terrific defense last year. They got a bunch of sacks against good teams. They gave up a bunch of points. And they're extremely talented, and everybody is happy to see Gannon gone. So what do we got? We'll see what happens. Luckily, and this brings me to the Pats. Patriots offense is I don't know if it's the perfect offense to face in your first week if you're the Eagles with a new coordinator. However, Bill O'Brien coming in, just the fact that he's not Matt Patricia is very good for this offense, extremely good. So I'm excited to see Mac Jones this whole season with Bill O'Brien. What happens? Doesn't have a ton of weapons. Rumor out there is that Juju's knee is about to explode like any minute, and we'll see how that goes. But this Patriots defense, top 10 defense last year, top 5, I believe, actually. Extremely good defense. So, that is somewhat of a concern for the Eagles with a new coordinator. But I'm interested to see with this offense, how does Mac Jones do with an offensive coordinator? And I mean, when it comes to this topic, it really is a long season, and we're going to see this progress. I have no doubt by the end of the year it'll be smooth. But that's a big thing going into this season. If I didn't mention Eagles -3.5 favorites in that game. Lastly, another game with a home dog. And that's Buffalo at New York Jets. Buffalo -2.5 point favorites. And this one's pretty simple. Aaron Rodgers. You got this defense last year that was phenomenal. You have an offense with an offensive line that has a million questions, but you have really good talent on the outside. You have phenomenal running backs, and you have one of the greatest to ever do it. I'm excited to see it. I talked about on the last show, I'm not all the way there with the Bills. I picked the Jets to win the division. I also predicted that they would split the season series. Not a risky bet that they would split the season series. Pretty predictable. So if the Jets win tomorrow or Monday, tomorrow, it wouldn't surprise me. If they lose, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm just curious to see by how much. Like, if the Jets lose by a field goal, or even a touchdown, but they score, 24, 27 points, then the defense is now, question mark. But I think at this point, you would rather your defense be the question mark than Rodgers be the question mark. And it's a long season, just one game, but I just can't wait to see Rodgers. And I know that that's low-hanging fruit, but I can't wait. So those are the main things that I am looking for starting at 1 p.m. Now, let's get to my favorite bets.
Here, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head, yeah, I'ma let him. All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right.
All right, my favorite bets against the spread for this opening Sunday of the 2023 NFL regular season. So I'm going to do something, a little competition with myself. I'm going to pick for the rest of this season, I'm going to pick my favorite bet from 1 o'clock, my favorite bet from the 4 o'clock slate, my Sunday night pick, and my Monday night pick. And we'll keep track. I'm hoping to get someone else here with me at some point, and we'll get a little competition, a little rivalry, keep it spicy. And then, as you're going to learn as you listen to this show, I love my teasers, and I'm giving you a 1 o'clock teaser, a 4 o'clock teaser, and then a teaser for the day. 2-team teasers for the most part, maybe 3 if I'm feeling it. And just to let you know, let you in on the inside, I'll have way more teasers than just 3 because I just can't help myself. All right, 1 p.m., Bengals at Browns. Bengals -1. A lot of home dogs this week, from what I can tell. Bengals -1.5 favorites. That's -115. All odds courtesy of FanDuel. Not sponsors yet, but FanDuel, I'm ready whenever you are. I'm picking the Bengals here. Bengals -1.5. If this spread was a little bigger, maybe 3.5, definitely, 4.5, then I may go Browns here. I don't know, man. Like, -1.5, I just don't, and once again, talked about this on my last show, I just don't trust Watson yet. How can I bet on the Browns with Watson? Like, I just can't. And I know he's had the whole summer. I know he now knows the playbook and knows the schemes and comfortable with the coaches and blah, blah, blah. But the guy, before his suspension was over last year, he hadn't played football in 2 years. And like I said, before that, he was really good against mediocre teams. And so I just cannot bet the Browns until I've seen it from Watson. I just can't. This is my kids' college fund we're talking about, and I just can't spend that money recklessly. I gotta study. I gotta know. And this one, I know. The Bengals -1.5. 4:30 p.m. I wasn't going to do this. I don't want to be a homer. I am a little bit naturally. I can't help myself, but I try to be objective. This line was -4.5. and it moved to -3.5. And I know it's still half a point more than a field goal, but it's enough to give me the Eagles -3.5. Like I said, this Patriots offense, it will be good. I do believe with Bill O'Brien, once again, the fact that he's not Matt Patricia, that's enough for me. But first week, no one to really throw the ball to. I know the defense is phenomenal. I do. But I love the Eagles -3.5 here. I believe in it. Sunday night, Giants home against the Cowboys. Now, I picked, drop something. I pick, the 1 o'clock game, the 4 o'clock game, but the Sunday nighter and the Monday nighter, they are what they are. I don't love this game. I don't love picking this game, especially a divisional game for my Birds when I want both of these teams to lose, and it's just not possible. Just a little football 101. One team doesn't have to win. They could tie. Anyway, I'm picking Giants +3.5. I think this is now Daniel Jones' time to shine. This Cowboys defense is arguably the best defense in the league. They're definitely top 3. I don't even think top 5, probably top 3. I think this Cowboys defense is phenomenal. This Giants offensive line is good. They have a very good running game. And Daniel Jones, man, 44.5 mil, 44.5 or 44, whatever, more money than I make, believe it or not. And I'm all right. Here we go. You're home. They're doing a blue out or something where they're giving away like 25,000 blue shirts when you come in or whatever. Let's go. Giants +3.5. Love it. Monday night, Jets, Bills. Bills are -2.5 favorites. The Giants game, Giants +3.5 is -112. And the Eagles -3.5 is -115, by the way. Jets +2.5. I'm going Jets here. You're at home. Jets +2.5. You're at home. Like I said, I think that they will split these games. So going on that premise, your first game, you're home. The emotions are super high. The honeymoon phase, we're just getting started. I think Rodgers comes out slinging. I think Dalvin Cook comes up running. This defense, as we've said, is one of the best defenses in the game. And I think the Jets cover here, +2.5. All right. Teasers. 1 p.m. teaser. Teasing all these games by 6 points, by the way. Now, this one seemed almost too obvious, and it scares me a little bit. But it's called gambling for a reason, and we're doing it. Let's do it. Commanders, they are currently -7 favorites against the Cardinals. Don't like the Cardinals, but you know what? I don't trust the Commanders that much to go -7, so I'm teasing them to -1. And the Vikings against the Buccaneers. I believe the Vikings are home against the Buccaneers. They are -5.5 point favorites. Tease them down to +0.5 point. You're getting that at -133. So my 1 o'clock is Commanders -1 and Vikings +0.5 point. Both these teams should win this game. I know Chase Young is out for the Commanders on the defensive end, and if it was anybody but the Cardinals, that would concern me, but it's not, so I'm not concerned at all. Commanders -1 and Vikings +0.5 point. My 4 p.m. tease, Packers as we spoke about, they're plus 1.5 dogs on the road in Chicago. I think that Packers win this game outright. I would even consider taking them on. Actually, not even consider. I am going to take them on the money line. But here, for the purposes of this show, plus 7.5. I am teasing them too. And the Seahawks at home against the Rams, the cupless Rams. They are cupless for at least 4 games. One time I was playing hockey when I was a kid, and my cup fell out of my shorts during warm-up, and I didn't know. And I saw the kids like laughing and joking around and playing pass with a cup, jock cup. And then I checked myself and realized, oh, that's mine, and just let it go. I didn't like own it or nothing. Just, that's mine. So if someone else wants to pick that cup up off the ice, then be my guest. So I was cupless. But for real, the Rams are cupless. I don't like this. Seahawks to plus 1.5. So Packers tease to plus 7.5. Seahawks plus 1.5, minus 133. That is my 4 p.m. tease. For my overall tease, the tease of teases, if you will. A little Pennsylvania themed tease. Eagles from minus 3.5 to plus 2.5. And Steelers plus 2.5 to plus 8.5. Love it. Absolutely love it. If you're watching this Sunday morning, I'll be back live on YouTube, if technology loves me, at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come check me out. Once again, Bengals minus 1.5, Eagles minus 3.5, Giants plus 3.5, Jets plus 2.5, a Commanders and Vikings tease, Packers Seahawks tease, and an Eagles Steelers tease. I'll be back tonight at 11 o'clock p.m. Please come check me out on YouTube. You can also get this on Spotify as well. Follow me at Sport Addict Mark on X. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you tonight.